we're in for another lesson of the week, and today, or this week, we are reviewing a lot of the guard. Why we're doing this week is because we're working a lot on the entry, smashing, entering, takedowns, throws, etc. But some of you guys have asked us to work a little bit more on the guard work. So we're bringing it to the ground this week. You guys know in TRITAC-Jitsu, the ground is a consequence, but if I am there, I better know what to do. So one of the most important things for us when we're fighting on the ground is the ability to have a guard. And why I love the guard, because one, it's actually very important for self-defense, but two, it really teaches you how to move and manipulate around the body, and that's why I love incorporating sport BJJ into my training, into our teaching, because when you train sport, when you train BJJ, you learn how to move, flow, and if you apply those principles to self-defense and TRITAC-Jitsu, you can create an incredible martial art. So this week, a lot on the guard. In our white to blue belt curriculum, we have closed guard, scissor guard, half guard, and some variations in there, for instance, like knee shield half, deep half, different gripping patterns, etc., etc. And one of the first things we'll look at is Omoplata. So shoulder locks, Omoplata, we'll do some sweeps, maybe some Kimuras in there, throw a choke or two. We'll see. This week I'm kind of playing around a lot with you guys in class, just to kind of see what you need and what you need to work on. Sean will do the same in his class. But that's the general principle, is that we are working the guard this week. Alright guys, see you in class, and we'll show you lesson preview right now. Alright, believe it or not, we're actually going to start off with pulling guard, especially pulling closed guard. And yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of doing this. In my classes when we're rolling, I do not allow them to pull guard. But it's one of those things, if you're getting overwhelmed, getting pushed, bullied, going down, you need to, you have no other opportunity but to get to guard. I think it's kind of important to learn to set up. So we're going to show you the setup for pulling guard, and it's kind of a very simple way of doing it. There's many different variations, and if you guys are interested in learning how to pull guard, I definitely suggest you check out our main BJJ instructor, Rafael Formiga Barbosa, who is absolutely one of the best guard players, especially the butterfly guard, X guard in the world. And if you watch some of his competitions or just some of the training videos we have on our YouTube channel, you'll just see some incredible videos. Formiga fighting from butterfly guard. There's so much. Butterfly, Del Hiva, X guard, all cool guard resources. But this is just for base layer, self-defense, and kind of as a white belt, learning how to get into the guard position, or at least set up the guard. So how does
there is a video on the Soul Fighters Academy. There's a video on how to pull guard where Formiga is showing.
Yeah, actually, so what I'm gonna do right now, I'll do a brief intro of it, and if I'm cool enough and I can figure it out, I'll put a link right on the video to actually you can watch Formiga's how to pull guard, because that is a good one. He goes into great details. But I'm gonna show you how we're starting our class this week, which is pulling guard. So I'm gonna get the same side grip. All right, same side I'm on. Same side I'm on. I'm dominating and isolating this side. Really important concept if you think about, if I just sat down and pull guard, if I just do this, he's just grab my legs, throw him by, and now he's in mount right on top of me. So that sucks. And it's funny to watch a lot of my students in class. Sometimes when they go to guard like that. That's just asinine. You need to have some layer of protection, defense to kind of keep him away, then set up what you want. So I'm here, I've got my cross collar grip and same side sleeve grip. That's the side I'm gonna go to. So I'm here, my level's low. I'm gonna take my right foot, put it right in his hip, toes angled out. So I'm trying to get just turn your head. I'm trying to get you think of like my hand is toes, they're coming to the outside, and index, or what they call it, the ball of my foot, no, the arch of my foot is kind of right on that hip, so I've got nice control. So here, I sit, and now I've got control. Just turn it so a little bit, Pete can see. Okay. So I would have this grip. So I want you guys to look. I'm keeping him away from me with a push and pull concept. All right. So it doesn't matter my leg length or not. I'm pulling at his sleeve, pulling here, and trying to kink his hip, my right foot. I obviously am very dynamic with this leg, but I don't want to allow him in unless I'm going to go for something. At first, I want to keep distance. This is like self-defense, thinking about, okay, I'm kind of keeping away. When I'm framing, controlling, punching, I'm keeping him away from me. It gives me the ability to get back up. One sweep I will review this week is also that tripod sweep from this position. When you're here, how to transfer, you see that, come here so I'll hurt you. You see that sleeve grip. How to transfer your sleeve grip to the leg, and this is actually when we'll get into the Omoplata series from the ground too. All right, in class, in the next video we do of the class, you'll see the whole details of pulling guard, getting to that position, and the tripod sweep. But now we'll go to Omoplata on the ground. Okay guys, now so we start pulling guard again. Is as a reminder why we are pulling guard is to train if we were getting overwhelmed, bullied, knocked back, and I need to get to a guard or need to have something. So I just don't want that guy on top of me. I need the ability to get to a guard and fight my way back up to his feet, to my feet, or if I can't get to my feet, finish him on the ground. Obviously, being on the ground and staying on the grappling is great on one-on-one. Jiu-Jitsu is the best martial art for one-on-one. You don't have to worry about anybody else or any other environments. Obviously, with pure street combat, pure self-defense, you should always be worried about what else, what if, who else, because you don't want to be committed to the ground, but sometimes you're there and you need the ability to fight from there. So I'll start from our pulling guard again. We're getting right to close guard. So pull my guard, keep him away, then suck him right in to my closed guard. Okay, what's to start off? Let's say Sean, common response is kind of like he is right now. Sean has bad knees, so he's kind of tough to sink down. But when they're postured up like this is a lot of times you're gonna feel this is when a punch is coming. So we're gonna use our basic, he's gonna throw a punch, use our basic frame and set up an overhook. Okay? So when I get my overhook, that's now eliminating his ability to punch in his arm, and I can also start waving away. So I'm gonna go over that right now. It's a really important concept. I don't want to think about pushing his head that way and escaping my hips and closing. So now I have a lock and control on him. If you look at the position I am right now, he's toast, okay? I can obviously get right back to my feet, but when review, some of the things this week are attacking this arm right here. So right off the bat, I'm gonna go for simple Kimura. Okay? From there, hit the wrist locks. Sorry, buddy. Oh, sorry, you have a bad wrist. Or, you start setting up our Omoplatas. And finishing from there. I'm being easy on Sean's shoulder and arm because he does have an injury. But that series is absolutely one of my favorite series, because once I get my hips to that side with that overhook, just move over here, I have a lot of control on him. And we'll go over in class the importance and the pressure of this knee, where you can put it to manipulate, striking, all that type of stuff, how to control the arm without using your hands, body mechanics of getting out to the Omoplata or back to your feet, or even throwing one of my favorite sweeps right here. I won't do it right now, but coming up to my knees and doing a nasty, basically no-handed Omoplata with your knees only, or sweep right to the armbar. So a lot of cool stuff from the Overhook Omoplata series. We'll also work on this week Scissor Guard position, and then setting up the Omoplata from the scissor, I am training Sport BJJ. That is absolutely one of my favorite setups, is getting that far arm cross grip, working that leg over to Omoplata. Just strong basic jiu-jitsu works really well for me, but it's a really great principle on how to attack attack the shoulder and arm over to sweep, all from kind of one basic position. So very essential, fundamental jiu-jitsu we work on in TRITAC-Jitsu, but it's the stuff that works, the stuff that we use all the time, and it's just beautiful fighting jiu-jitsu. It can work in sport, self-defense, MMA, whatever. Cool. And yeah, we'll show you some other stuff we're gonna work on. Let's do it this way. So picture, I have I'm in guard and Sean has an overhook. I have an overhook on Sean. If I'm playing sport or he has a gi, I'm reaching for far collar. I'm getting a lot of control there. Formiga even shows a nasty, cool gi choke from there. Like it's okay. I have a harder time getting it. He can get it sometimes, but what does a really good job of is moving his head away to open up that shoulder. If I don't have a gi, I'm almost like trying to drive it to his belly, or almost one of our old coaches, Luigi Mondelli, said, grab your own junk. And I thought that was kind of a cool concept, because you just drive your hand down your inner thigh. This is what we're talking about for MMA. And it gives you almost that same similar control. But when you have that cross collar, you can kind of close it off with your shoulder, bicep, and hand, and get a lot of control. Then start manipulating away to start straightening out that arm and get some arm locks in there too. So yeah, I'm either looking for that control, but once I get that overhook, it's like I gotta feed in and grab something right away. If not, it's tough. And then the really big important part when you have the overhook is getting those hips away, because a lot of tough guys, and I think guys who train at our school like Josh Owen and Corey, they'll actually pass with they have an underhook, I'll have an overhook. They'll pass that way because they're so good at keeping their hips square and driving forward, and removing your ability to get to a hip. And that's one of the most important concepts with that overhook control, is setting that hip so you can almost isolate one part of his body to attack. So we'll go over that a lot in class this week, because that's another important concept of jiu-jitsu, is only fighting small components. If I could get all my body weight, all my energy on one arm compared to fighting the rest of his body, I have much higher success of finishing compared to trying to fight and muscle through all that other stuff. So guys, as we were discussing off camera, Sean and I, and Pete and I, the guy behind the camera, talking about setting the overhook and getting your hips off line, because we were just talking about with Corey and Josh being tight passers. So they preface this by saying, when you guys get really, really strong on top and you can't set up that overhook and you can't get to on a hip, then you might not be able to do the technique. You have to kind of might go somewhere else because it's not going to work for you. But some of the things I play with in this position. So once I have my overhook, all right, I need to get over there. So it's kind of like a dual prong effect. I take my hand and start pushing in their neck to get their head going that way, foot in the mat, and escape my hips. I'm also drop my back knee to the ground, and then I drive up and recapture. So if you look again, I'm here, okay? So your elbow okay? Your wrist okay?
Good.
Okay. I'm just trying to make his head go away. And there's as you see the camera, there's a nasty spot right in here. And you can kind of see once I kind of touch it, Sean, like his head starts going away, or I get right underneath the ear. And it's a nasty little spot. But you think about self-defense, I start hammering that spot, drive my knuckles in there, he's gonna go away. He can't hit me right now. Boom, boom, I can hit him, or take that nasty pain compliance spot, put it there. Or if you're just playing sport, hand to the side of the jaw, turn his face, opposite foot in the mat, and I keep his foot here, I shrimp and drop that bottom knee to the ground and use my overhook to force him into that low spot, and then I recapture, and I can come in close again or keep him far away. But it's really important to have that tight control. But again, it's one of my favorite positions, being kind of the way I'm built and the way I play jiu-jitsu, because I like a universal fighting jiu-jitsu, and that's just it's a great position. It's setting it up but if you get a strong guy on top, like Pete, you know, if he's strong hips and heavy on you, and he's got elbows are tight and he's not letting you wiggle, it's tough. You know, but you really got to keep pushing that head away and like just strips, keep escaping the hips, and creating soft spots for him to fall. You know, it's like you create space, he falls into the space. You create a little bit more space, he falls into the space, and then eventually you've got your
game of inches.
It is, but that's what all you're looking for. You're just looking for little spaces. I think someone said it to me once. I forget who said it, but we were referencing Formiga's like what makes some of the best black belts in the world is like, you know, I think Hickson Gracie calls it invisible jiu-jitsu, where like they can feel the minute shifts in the body, or like almost like your thought of like I want to move that way. They kind of feel it like, instinctually. They know it. They can just like pick up those little patterns and capitalize so much on those small little movements. But that's all we're looking to do is create those little interrupts, that little space, and then take advantage of it, slide into it, and recognize it. I mean, that's you can kind of feel like as when you go with a white belt, like they have no fucking clue what's going on, and it's just scattered all over the place. And you think, come on, man, just do this, but it's not instinctual to them. But then you watch, like you roll with a black belt, or watch like half and Formiga rolls, like, I mean, they just did like 8 million things in one match because they just were instantly able to like respond and feel everybody's little movement. And that's what's cool about rolling BJJ is you learn to really study and feel how the body moves. It's really cool.